Bink. We are live, OTNG, Season 3, Episode 3. Over to you,
Welcome,
Nils.
everyone, if anyone's listening. We have Aaron and Peter and your friendly JM Nils. We're going to be continuing on our story, the Kids on Bike game system, in what I'm calling the Adventure of the Golden Seal Pelt. And before we get started, I just wanted to do a quick shout out, I guess. This game is heavily influenced and encouraged by a Twitch channel called Hyper RPG, and they've had a long-running Kids on Bike game that they do on their Twitch TV that you can also watch on YouTube, and a lot of other very involved and technologically advanced RPGs. So if anyone wants to check out some really good content, both in story wise, but also the technology that they use, it's just not people sitting at a table playing games. They actually do a lot of visual effects and sound effects and graphics that I would highly recommend checking it out.
What's the name
of
it again?
And the specific game that I'm talking about is called Kollok 1991, spelled Kollok 1991. And the channel and the YouTube channel is on both on Twitch and YouTube is Hyper RPG. So, Sloan and Danny, why don't you give us a recap of what happened last week?
What do you remember, Sloan?
Who's had the most coffee?
Well, let's see. I'll work backwards. So we've.
So
I'm almost there. It's like on the tip of my tongue.
All right.
So we took Naomi and her dad out to meet Brew and Dobbs, and that's
Turns
where
out Naomi's dad's a shaman.
That's right. Naomi's dad's the tribe shaman or tribe elder for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And we had been at the library and we had been looking at a rubbing from a statue that we had gotten when we broke into Old Man McCormick's shack out on the docks.
I don't know what you're talking about.
And we had tried to sneak onto his boat. We had tried to sneak onto his boat and see if we couldn't find the seal skin because we couldn't find it in the shack
where he lives.
But there was a berth. Is that the right word?
Yeah, well, the forward berth was locked.
The forward berth was locked.
Or a forward compartment. I don't know what you're right. I don't know what you call it.
Yeah, compartment might be better on that size of boat.
Yeah.
Berth is more like a cruise ship. And we had snuck onto the boat by creeping under the dock, and there was a lot of discussion about, what these docks look like. And
you did research.
We did some research and some collaboration. And when we had, that's right, we had there, and our episode started last session with a search party being organized by Old Man McCormick for Brew, saying that she had paid him a bunch of money and then gone missing, and he was worried about her and organized a search party out in the woods. And Danny had done his normal thing about keeping people away from his shack by saying, nope, nothing down there. And then we snuck back into town while everybody was still out searching to try to break into McCormick's place because we had told Brew about that, and then some searchers had showed up, and then Dobbs used some magic powers to keep us hidden.
Yeah, it was pretty impressive. And I brought a lot of tuna and one can of salmon.
That's the backwards roundabout recap. As Sloan remembers it, laying in bed that night thinking back over the day's events.
And after you came back from the the search party, or actually as the search party was coming back into town, you went to the library, tried to do some book research, And that's right. When Naomi, the librarian and community center organizer, saw what you were doing, saw not only the script, basically almost pretty much grabbed it from you, saying you must never show this to anybody, and said I'm going to burn this, and then saw your sketch of Dobhar Chu was its name, and kind of figured out you shared with her what was really going on, and that's when she called her dad in, and you took them out to meet your new friends.
Right.
So, before we start, any other questions? I know we're kind of we left it right where
they arrived. Yeah, they arrived and said, "My queen," and then they knelt before Brew.
Right. And actually, thinking back about that, I'm going to modify that a little bit. But before any other questions,
do it in the fiction. Do it in the fiction.
What do you mean?
I mean, do it as part of the story, right?
Right. Well, I what I mean is that's going to be. I realize that for the story, I would prefer him not to have done that. So I need to change that a little bit. So yeah, exactly, a retcon, just minor retcon. So the two of you were taking Naomi, and
I think my point is that already happened, right? So if there's, but I'm with you. We could talk about it. We could talk about it as a sidebar later.
Yeah. Here we go. I'll get my notes. So Naomi's father's name was. Second, I'm getting a.
It was historical. I remember that.
Oh, that's right. I was looking at PNW. First Nations.
Thought I wrote it down. Atosh Klosh or something like that.
Yeah.
The first person's name that I'm sure in the Wiki Northwest Indigenous Peoples article. So
a Tlingit leader. That's who that was.
Yeah.
He's wearing a cool Union soldier's cap, right?
So as you approach, you're taking Naomi and her father up, and Brew and Dobhar step out of the hut, and they approach them and make some hand gestures, and Atta Klosh is speaking to them. You can tell if it's reverential, not referential, reverential. But he doesn't actually say my doesn't actually kneel. But you're not able to understand them because they're speaking in his Tlingit native tongue. So Naomi kind of pulls you aside and said, let's let them talk. So they continue to talk, and Naomi has a minute to talk with you, saying these two are representatives of the Seal people and the Otter people, and my people are trying to work with them to stop a great evil that's been plaguing the coast. And as you've probably guessed,
it's Old Man McCormick.
Yeah, Old Man McCormick is trying to help the great evil, and and by doing so, what he's done is he's stolen Ruth Nua's pelt skin, and so she's not able to go back into the ocean once she, without it, and then be able to, where the three people, the Otter people, the Seal people, and my people are trying to work together, and she needs to take a message back to them, but back to the Seal people, but she won't be able to leave without the pelt, and that's why we need to get it.
Of course.
So they talk. Adhash Klosh and Bruthnua and Dob Harchu talk for a bit, and then they come over and say, "Well, to you, Danny and Sloan, thank you so much for your help." And Adhash Klosh asks, "What have you done so far to try to find the pelt?"
And we explained what we did.
Okay.
And where we've narrowed it down to and why we think that.
Mm-hmm.
The guard on the boat was kind of a giveaway that there's something going on.
Sure, and I think I'll show them the the rubbing, the impression that we took from the statue, and then I'll start sketching it like wildly, like trying to explain, like feeling now important, like I'm part of the adults.
Yeah,
yeah. Right.
And then see this, the long tail goes down like this, but it's not really a tail, and blah blah blah.
And Anut Klush starts to, well, actually all of them start to say, oh, yes, and they kind of like stop you about halfway through, saying, yes, we know, we recognize that it's not a good idea to try to sketch that.
And I get a little sullen and like kind of go off and like sit down in my sketchbook and keep drawing it, but not as fervently, right? A little more. Now it's like a little more. Oh, you said I can't do it? Well, now I'm gonna fucking do it, motherfucker.
Yeah.
This is the man who raised 3 teens.
I know.
Or is raising 3 teens.
Well, yeah, it's true. True.
Still in the middle of it.
But the best exact behavior in my classroom.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So they thank you for your information. Thank you for your help. And Anat Klash says, please let us take care of this. We can, now that we know where the seal, her skin is hidden, we can help her get back to her people. And
but we can help. We help this much. We can help more.
We know, but it's just too dangerous. As you saw, McCormick will do whatever he can for whatever they've promised him. So we're worried about you, about your safety, and you're not directly involved in this, and we don't want you to be harmed. So we'd like to take care of this on our own.
We give each other sidelong looks.
Yeah, I'm starting to get a little freaked out that there are seal people and otter people, and what is all of this really about?
Yeah, this is beyond our realm of understanding.
And that the Tlingit people knew about this all the time, and were working with these other people, and it doesn't feel trustworthy. It feels like why
there's
would
something else beyond this too? Like it's not just the skin. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, I mean, why would the native people be doing something and not? Why wouldn't they help the sheriff? I mean, why wouldn't they go to the sheriff? Why wouldn't they work with him? Why wouldn't they?
Because the sheriff's a white guy. We know that.
Well, yeah, but come on, come on, Danny. Naomi and her people have been living in our town and part of our community, and they aren't any different than everybody else, kind of naively, right?
Yeah, exactly. But still, exactly how a teenager sees it.
Right, and why wouldn't why wouldn't you blow this whole thing wide open and make it really about, if it's about the environment, then yeah, sure, then they should totally be. We should call 60 Minutes.
It's it. My dad watches 60 Minutes. That's who we'll
call. So are you actually expressing this out loud, or is this kind of something you're?
This is between me and Danny. Yeah.
Okay. So,
and just kind of giving you a little bit of perspective about what I'm thinking about or where I'm coming from now.
How the character sees things.
Right.
So, so Naomi, Anat Klosh goes back to talk to Brew and Dabharchu, and Naomi says, well, they actually kind of like move off a ways into the forest, and Naomi says, well, I think you've done, you've helped us so much. I think you've done what you can. Why don't you guys go on home? And
I know what we need. We need to get proof.
And as she's saying that, Brew comes over and again thanks you for your kindness and your help, and asks if they can stay in your shack for a while longer until this gets resolved, and says that you'll always be a friend to the Seal people with further help that you've provided. So Naomi kind of starts walking you off to kind of like get you heading back home.
Well, once it's just the two of us, it's like, I don't know. I think they're underestimating us. I don't think they realize how much we can help.
Well, this is a 70s and 80s kid adventure movie. Of course, the parents are underestimating the kids.
Exactly.
So I think we need a camera.
Oh yeah.
We need proof because nobody's going to believe
I think
these
that's why she
drawings
didn't
didn't just come out of my head.
Yeah, because I think that's why they haven't gone to the sheriff, because I don't think he'd believe them.
They don't have proof.
That's it. It is kind of crazy when you think about it. SEAL people, I mean, you and I, we're smarter than most folks, so we know these things exist. But a lot of people around here don't believe in that stuff, and they don't like Naomi.
Yeah, just think about all the scientific bestiary book, the monster manual that you use. I mean, all those things in there are true.
Dude, they're printed, aren't they?
Yeah.
Somebody researched that.
Exactly.
Historical research for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, as a kid, I never believed it, but I loved the concept that somebody had gone out and made an encyclopedia of all these magical animals.
Right.
I love that's so many years later when I read Harry Potter, the whole idea of Newt Scamander, you're writing care of magical creatures. It's perfect. I'm like, yeah, I'm with this. I can totally get behind this.
So, as you're heading back home, what are the plans you're putting together?
Well, we need a camera to get proof. I think we need to keep an eye on the boat, because I think Old Man McCormick is doing something big, and he's doing it. I think he's going to do it soon, because he wouldn't be looking for Brew if things weren't about to happen.
Or she didn't know something. I mean, why does he stole her skin, right? That's what the grups are saying.
like the grups.
Yeah, exactly.
Bonk bonk.
Bonk bonk.
There's a 70s reference that nobody will get. Yeah, and by not having her skin, she needs her skin to be able to go back into the ocean.
Right.
And therefore she can't carry messages back to her people without.
She can't shape change into a golden seal without it.
Yeah.
We've read our local mythology.
Right. So just to kind of reset for a second, the first session was on Friday night, and now this is like turning into late Saturday afternoon. Just kind of give you a sense of the time frame.
Gotcha.
Things are so.
Are we off school, or do we have school on Monday?
No, there'll be school on Monday.
Great.
Oh joy.
Yeah.
And
you still exactly, you still have if you remember the whole incident at the carnival was supposed to be discussed on Saturday, but then there was the search for the allegedly missing woman, and so that was postponed.
Okay. Well,
So.
Danny hasn't figured this out, and nor is he going to, but we know who's been eating those people, and it's Dobbs. and she's wearing the clothes that are left over afterwards.
Okay.
That's my theory. I'm sticking to it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Because you think because you think they're really just animals, and
No, he's the Otter King.
but why would he be
And his-
eating people? I don't
Well,
understand.
his name is
Danny.
actually a Celtic name, or what he is yeah, he's a freaking giant goddamn otter, and he can shape change. And I think they've been trapped for a while, and he's just hungry. That's my theory.
Well,
As a player, not Danny. That's not what Danny's assuming, but the player's
right.
thinking, yeah.
The missing people, the more frequently missing people have been going on for, from your short number of years in the Earth, as long as you can remember. So,
Sure.
Based on your theory, they would have had been trapped for like a number of years.
Oh, got you. Well, I was just thinking the recent ones.
Right. Okay.
Like I said, she's wearing a mixed mash of clothes. I'm like, where'd she get that?
Right, where is she wearing men's trousers and 2 different shoes?
Right. So your plan now is to what?
Go home and get a camera.
Okay. Uh-oh. Shoot. Hold on.
And a tape recorder.
Something. Yeah, it's too early for us to have video cameras handy.
And they would be huge, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? He said it was 1980 something. Where are we?
1979, I think, was the year.
Yeah.
Check my notes here.
Because the Smashing
79.
Pumpkins song.
Which Smashing Pumpkins song?
1979.
Oh.
My Bluetooth headphone is dying, so let me
get a switch.
give me a few minutes and let me try to adjust things to you.
So 1991 was the song. Was it Thompson Twins or someone like that?
I don't know.
You lost it.
I'm looking. 1979. It's a new wave song?
I thought it was. Like I said, I think Thompson Twins.
New wave doesn't mean shit.
It was the polite thing to say.
I got nothing.
Boys who love girls who love
Which
boys
is,
who are girls.
Okay.
Did you? I sent that video over. It's from 1994, so it's just leaning into that era.
Let me see. Did you send it via?
I put it in the Discord in the.
Oh, gotcha.
In-game.
Let's go take a look.
Are you back, Nils?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In game? Is that where it is?
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
I'm not getting any sound.
Yeah, because usually when you're on VoIP, your mixer will well, that's what it does on a Windows machine. Just listen to it later.
Oh, there it is. I think it is the song I was thinking of.
Oh, it's the song I was thinking of for sure.
So you're going to try to get a camera.
Mm-hmm.
And so
I think things are moving fast. I think we need to go keep an eye on McCormick's boat.
Okay. So where are you going to get a camera? Because if I remember correctly, both your families are relatively poor.
Well,
might have a nice little 110 somewhere. In the 80s, you'd have a bunch of those laying around,
I was thinking about what are those little flat rectangular ones that took the
110s.
Is that what a 110 is?
Well, the one because the film is very narrow. It's a little tiny strip, and it's in that little cassette. and you'd get like 24 shots.
Right. Yes, this is exactly what I'm thinking of.
And every family had one. They were cheap. They were sort of the brownies of the 60s and 70s.
Right. Right.
And yes, that Blur, that was the exact song I was thinking of.
Right, and actually,
And
let's see.
Kollok 1991, that's a double palindrome.
Yes, exactly, intentionally.
Oh.
Yeah, that's yeah. If you watch any of it, you'll see. So yeah, actually, being that this is a tourist town in some ways, some of the gift shops have the disposable cameras, and your family's one of your families has one of those that wasn't full.
That's it.
So,
That's
oh,
one.
I've never. Oh, that's interesting. I don't know if I ever saw one of those before. I don't remember.
Oh my god! It was just a point and shoot, and it went clunk
Yeah.
when you hit the button.
And
That
yeah,
was it.
battery charged up. It had a little LED.
Yeah.
It had, well, it's maybe not an
No.
LED, but it had a primitive
No. It was a little
had like
flash.
a little light bulb on the
Yeah.
back when you would push it to you would like push the button to charge the flash, and you would hear it be winding up like me.
Oh yeah, I remember that now. Like Batman's batteries.
Yeah, it was like super freaking cool.
Okay, so you're able to find one of those, and one of you roll a die 24 to see how many pictures are left on it.
Okay.
Roll a 24. 20 would be good. Better see if I
12, right in the middle, so that we don't have to figure out if that was how many taken or how many how many available.
All right, great. So that's what you got. Make sure you didn't actually just type in 12. I see it. Yeah, I see that's rolling. He did roll at a d24. So okay, so you got the camera, and you're gonna go watch McCormick's boat.
Okay. Yeah.
I think we also need to try to find a cassette player.
Okay, that's gonna.
Oh no, a dictation, a little dictation thing.
Right.
Cassette recording, 1979.
So, Danny, your mom was a waitress, right?
Mm-hmm.
And does your dad work, or is he just?
Well, he does odd jobs now, and
Okay.
we don't really know what he's doing half the time. But he was a fisherman.
Okay. And Sloan, what does he do?
My mom, she works like she has like 3 jobs. She cleans houses on the weekends, and she works at the sawmill, at the lumber mill. You know, on Monday through Friday, and then her night job is she's like the short order cook at the grill, at the bar and grill.
Okay.
It's more of a bar than a grill, really.
Right. So, yeah, it doesn't sound like this is going to be a harder thing to find or get a hold of, and it doesn't sound like your families would have access to something like this. So, if you want to get something like this, you're going to have to come up with a plan on how to find one and get a hold of it.
Darn it.
Oh, you think because it's a little more class kind of thing, it's a little more upper class?
It's just not something that would be normally. I mean, a camera I can understand families having, but it's just not something that you would need to have it for a reason. It's not like something you would normally have just to have.
Well, you would. You have. Here, I'll show you the cassette player I had. Let's see.
I hear you. We had them because my dad was kind of an audiophile,
right,
and like to record stuff, like just because.
So okay, so you're not. I was thinking about an actual dictaphone, so or
no, well, we could, but
You're talking about an actual full-size cassette player. Okay, yeah, you can have that. I was
A
thinking
full-size cassette player, I think, makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
And in 1979, we might have a Walkman, but you couldn't record on most of those.
Yeah, not on a Walkman, but these kind, which I also do remember. Yeah. Okay.
I put another
So-
picture in the Discord, Peter. Which one did you have? Do you remember? Did you find it?
I'm trying to figure out how to copy the picture. I mean,
Just usually like right click, but I forget what that is in Windows.
oh my god, it's the exact same one I picked. Yeah, mine, I can't seem to. Yeah, that basically the one on the bottom left.
Mhm.
The
was what I was
JV
thinking
one?
of. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of, something like that. So you can stuff that in our backpack with a cassette.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, our families probably wouldn't have the dictaphones. You need a little more white collar reason to have it.
A legal secretary or something like that.
Right, but most kids had this if they didn't have a Walkman. They at least had this, because I remember recording things off the radio with this.
Mhm.
Really?
Yeah, so did
Off
I.
the radio?
Yep.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Not
I
even
did
like
too.
how I was making my mixtapes with like my boombox that had a cassette deck built into.
Oh,
No,
that
there were.
was no, there was no boombox. That
Yeah,
was a boombox.
This is
there
my
was-
boombox.
Yeah. So he's been 10 years older than you makes a difference.
Yeah.
The technology was so different by the time he came along.
So you've got your cassette player, and I, you find a cassette, and it might be some like family heirloom cassette, but you don't care. You'll just tape over whatever it is. But you have a camera with 12 shots on it. And I'll even say you're able to find extra batteries for your equipment, so that you don't have to worry about it, it dying in the middle of
the adventure.
In the adventure, yeah. Actually, I should have had you roll for that, but I won't. So okay, so what's your plan?
We could use a usage die or something like that. Do you know how that works?
No.
So it's a way to track. It's a way to have resource expenditure without tracking actual uses. So you establish the usage die like as, say, it's a D6, and if you roll a 1, then it goes down to the next die type, or whatever range you set for your usage dice, right? So 6 could be the bottom if you wanted. But if you roll a 1, then you shift to the next die type, and when you shift away from the last die type, then it's gone. So you could go from like a D8 to a D6 to a D4. Progressively, every time that you're rolling that die, the odds of you rolling a 1 increase, right?
Right. Okay. All right. So okay, go ahead.
But that's just an aside. That doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's. So who's getting the camera and who's getting the
why don't I take the camera? Or
I
don't know, Danny. What do you think?
What I'm sorry. What I meant was who's finding them? Whose family has them?
I think my family has them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then Sloan, go ahead and make a brains roll. Difficulty of 4.
Okay. I'm good at this. 9.
Okay. So yeah. So you're aware of how these things work, and you're able to remember to bring extra batteries. So at this point, we won't worry about the usage roll because you have effectively.
Sure, no, that's fine. I'm just sharing with you that thing.
Yeah, it's a good idea. I hadn't heard of that before. So you've got your equipment. You've got your 2 key pieces of equipment. Anything else you want to bring on your stakeout?
Not that I could think of.
Okay.
But I think things are going to get bad. I have a feeling we should hide out under the dock again. Because they won't see us there. And we can listen to what's going on. And if we have to, we can get on the boat and hide. Spoken like a 9-year-old.
Right.
Because that's just going to be easy.
Well, and I got the hammer I pull out of my satchel to get into
Oh,
that
yeah.
door. So maybe
And
we.
I got the bike chain and locked, so
Oh, you got the bike chain and lock. Nice. That's the Jesus
well, it makes a
Christ.
nice flail if you have to.
I know. I'm just thinking with your fight die and a bike chain and lock, you're gonna kill somebody and murder
Well,
somebody.
my thought
Yeah.
is if you got big thugs trying to kill us or an octopus coming out of the water to kill us, then you're gonna want the bike chain and lock.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to bite Marty that hard. I rolled a goddamn 19. All right.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you got a die 20 fight.
I was
So,
worked up.
understandably, yeah. Hopefully the principal sees it that way.
I
So
sorry, I gotta run and feed the cat. I'm sorry. I'll be
okay,
right back.
sure.
Very demanding cat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just like ours. It's funny. Erica's usually the first one up in the morning, and she'll get up and go. We have a bathroom adjoined to ours, but also that has another door that goes out to the main part of the house. And so she'll go to the bathroom, and then we can hear the animals sitting outside the bathroom door waiting for her to come out.
Because she'll come out that other door and feed everyone.
Yeah, feed everyone, let them out, pay attention to them.
The bringer of joy.
Yeah,
Not the sleeping guy.
yeah.
Well, I take the dogs on walks. Barb usually just stays home and plays with them in the backyard and stuff, but I take them on walks. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm the walk guy, and they get all excited. And if I come over for whatever reason, like even if Barb's there and I come over, they start running over to their leashes, like, "Oh, we're going for a walk." I like it personally. It forces me to get exercise that I might otherwise ignore.
I just ignore it. So what is you probably obviously want to talk with Danny, or Sloan, but what is your general plan at this point? What is are you going to try to get underneath the dock and just
I
sit
think
and
we,
listen? Sit and
yeah,
listen.
let's listen to what's going on because I have a feeling these guys are moving faster than I think things are coming to a head.
Mm-hmm.
And Danny's pretty sure that it's going to be moving a lot faster than their grown-ups. For God's sakes, the grown-ups didn't even. I mean, to me, what would he say? Jeez, the grown-ups didn't even know that that Brew and Dobbs were out there.
Right.
So I don't know how quickly they can get stuff together. And I think two kids can accomplish something because no one's going to expect two kids to be there and figure out what's going on. And I think that big statue that they're all worried about, I think that's
Mm-hmm.
got something to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
I
Okay.
do. I know. It sounds crazy because it's just a statue, but it's got the statue and the words have got the grown-ups worked up. And that's
Right.
not a good sign when grown-ups are worked up.
Right.
So there's something going on with that statue. And I think if there's an otter god and otter people and there's seal people, then there's got to be a big monster people. Know what I'm saying?
Right. Kaiju people.
Yeah, whatever. There's if otter people and seal people, if I'm going to believe in them, and a 9-year-old is absolutely believing this without a doubt,
Right.
then I'm believing that there's some big nasty thing. Now again,
Sorry,
9. I haven't read Cthulhu yet.
Right. Yet.
Oh yeah,
So
but Danny's totally the kid who will get into it.
Yep.
Discord crash.
Nope. We still hear you.
I hear you.
Do you hear us, Aaron?
I guess not.
Oh, check. Hey, it's Aaron.
Yep.
Ooh, hear you again.
Still hear you.
Guys.
Can you hear us?
Okay. Uh-oh.
It's like talking to my father.
Check.
We can still hear you.
We can hear you.
I don't
Can
hear
you
you
hear
guys.
us?
I don't know what's going on here.
Oh,
Check. Everything's reading on my end.
that's weird because we can hear you fine. I say to the guy who can't hear me. I hear Nils typing too, so that's a good sign.
Yeah. Yeah.
That means someone is communicating, so I don't have to stop painting.
Right.
I'm almost done with this building.
You say that you've been saying that for so long. Of
Oh,
course,
well,
each time it's building.
it's a different building. In fact, this is the oldest one in the collection. It's the last unpainted building that's assembled,
Mm-hmm.
and it's the first one I built 2 years ago.
Still one side.
Yeah, still
Mm-hmm.
Wolfson. So it's the residential building. And then I have another one on sprue to start next. And they really do. If you paint them on sprue, it's pretty easy. And they
Mm-hmm.
assemble really quickly that way. And then you just have some touch-up paint.
So are they laser cut wood, MDF,
Yeah,
or something?
MDFs. And plus they soak up the paint. So painting them on sprue is a lot easier with a big flat brush.
So then what do you do about the connector points? Is that where you're touching up? Like
Yeah. And with the house, since part of the design is these ends showing and the ends are dark, I'm like, well, then I'm going to make all the decorative details that matches that. It'll just be dark brown because then I don't have to worry about matching it, and half of it's already the right color.
right.
So some ends I paint over, some ends I don't.
Yeah, because I'm
Oh, I ordered this time of year for the last 2 years. This is when I
mm-hmm.
got them. So because it's
Mm-hmm.
freaking. And then I did not count on this because just sign in, add this to my account. They gave me my additional 10% off on some of the items. There were a couple items I got 70% off on.
Check, check,
Wow.
check.
We hear
I
you.
can
Can
hear
you
you.
hear us?
I hear you. I hear you.
Yay. Okay.
Yay!
I apparently I have a separate button on the side of my headphones that can turn them on and off, and I must have pushed that when I took them off because I was hearing
Uh-oh.
nothing, but the microphone was working. So very weird.
Right.
Weird.
Yeah.
It's like a, it's like a listening mute.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So we were reviewing your plan. You got your equipment. You got your hammer. You got to
Brought a
find a
hammer in the
nail.
morning. That's
Yeah.
right.
We got a cassette
Uh,
deck.
you got a. You
We're
got
gonna
a.
we're gonna get proof.
Oh, and I got that pry bar too. I have a pry bar.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
The little, basically the 12-inch cat's paw.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I
Right.
have.
Mm-hmm.
And so so with all this accoutrement, what are you planning on doing?
Well, what I was thinking, correct me if I'm wrong here, Aaron. I think, Sloan, we should do how we got on the boat before, and we should roll up under it and just listen and do what's going on, because I think stuff's happening faster than anyone else. Because I've been thinking, for goodness sakes, the grown-ups didn't even know about Dobbs and Brew. So how much can they really be on top of things and ready to move? And I think things are happening faster than the grown-ups realize. I also don't think anyone will be expecting 2 kids, because look how well we got on board and got off, and the guy never suspected anything. On top of it, I know grown-ups are gonna think we're crazy, but I'm just saying, if there's otter people and there's seal people, then there's got to be big monster people too, because
Shark people.
I think that statue is from the shark people or whatever, and old man McCormick, I think he's doing something with bad gods, with bad creatures, because Brew and Dobbs, they're really cool, and if Naomi likes them, then they're good. Um, they're the good spirits that Naomi talks about. But I think this is more like the bad spirits we've read about too, and I think that's what McCormick's messing with. And I don't
Okay.
think that it's not like they can call the cops. They didn't call the police, the FBI. So I think they need us to at least listen to what's going on. What do you think?
So we can call the FBI.
That's right, with our proof.
Yes. Okay. I'm with you, Danny.
Okay. So now, as I mentioned, it's like getting to be actually almost evening at this point because you've come back from the forest, you've gathered your stuff. So
You
are
sure
you
they're
wanting to go
you're
out
gonna have
there
to you're gonna have to
Saturday
sneak out?
night?
Yeah, we're gonna have to sneak out. I'm thinking that's what's gonna have to happen. But what do you think? Or should we go back
Oh,
in the morning?
yeah.
Because
Um,
Sloane's smarter and more level-headed than Danny. Danny recognizes that.
I mean, we
Danny's
don't have to be
impulsive.
out like we don't have to sneak out. We could just say we're going to go play D&D at
I can say I'm playing at your house, and you say you're playing at my house. We do that all the time.
Sure. Let's do that. And besides, my mom's not home anyway.
Right,
She's
exactly.
well, she might be home on the weekend after working her. Well, no, mom. I mean, she might not. I mean, she probably has work. She always has work. I don't know. She won't care anyway. All my chores are done.
Mm-hmm.
She falls asleep on the couch a lot. The woman's got 3 jobs.
Right. So you're wanting to go out on Saturday,
Yeah.
dusk time, right? Okay. All right.
Well,
Just so I
yes.
understand the
I
time
mean,
frame.
it could be
Okay.
8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. It
Right.
doesn't have to be
Right.
3 a.m. sort of thing.
Right. Right. Basically, whenever you get everything together, you're not going to wait till the next day.
No.
Correct,
Right. Okay.
because
Great.
tonight's Saturday night, we still have
Mm-hmm.
Sunday and then school. Ugh.
Yep. Yep. So you've got another whole day to finish everything off before you have to go back to school. So okay, great. So um, let's see. Let me think for a second. Oh, somebody get the phone.
Not me.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to say it's about 7 o'clock in the evening, and you've got everything together and you're ready to go, and you make your way down to the piers,
Mm-hmm.
and since it's starting to get dusk, it'll be somewhat easier to get down to that rowboat again.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also, as you approach and kind of check out the boat from afar, McCormick and his full crew are back at the boat. So there's going to be a lot more eyes. So um, you'll
So
need to,
we can watch for a distance to start with.
yeah. I mean, you're going to need to make a roll to get down to the boat and get it into the water like you did before,
Without being seen.
without being seen, right? But again, you're just kids out there
Sure.
going out in the rowboat, so they're not necessarily all that suspicious yet. So
That's part of Danny's thinking.
good.
Because kids get away with a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So you're setting up to just kind of watch the boat from afar at the moment.
Yeah, I think,
Mm-hmm.
well, I let's head down towards the docks, and when we
Mm-hmm.
see that there are people out on the boat, let's stop and sort of watch what's going on there. You said Old Man McCormick was down working on his boat. I mean,
Well, his
it's
whole
dark.
crew's there.
It's dark now, right? I
Well,
guess
it's
that
getting
whole
dark. Yeah.
and the dock lights would be kind of fired up and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right. Yeah. It's getting dark. We haven't determined the time of year yet, but 7 o'clock, so it's going to be there's a good chance it's
it's fall festival
Spring.
time of year,
Fall
right?
festival, yeah.
right. That's true. Good point. Thank you for reminding me. So yeah, it's pretty much getting just about dark by this time, and the crew is out there. They're they obviously they hadn't gone out for the day for fishing. It was the weekend, and also that most of them were doing part of the search party, but they're out on the. Some of them were standing around at the front of the boat on the dock, um, talking and smoking. You see McCormick moving around his boat, on the boat, and has a couple of his cronies with him to ordering him to get the boat ready for whatever they're planning on doing. And you're in order to be able to remain out of sight, you're far enough away that you're not able to hear what they're saying, but you can tell, they're talking amongst themselves. But it looks like they're just kind of, setting up the boat for whatever their next plans are at this point.
Does it look like they're getting ready to ship out right now? They're battening things down, getting things
Loading
ready
up
to
or
leave. Yeah.
offloading or onloading, I guess.
They're just like tidying the boat up, I guess. Unfortunately, I know nothing. You know nothing about boats and naval processes. So,
Well, I mean, are they
Right, but
putting stuff on the boat, or are they taking stuff off the boat, or are they like working on the boat? It would be weird to. Danny's like, or sorry, Sloan. Sloan knows it would be weird to be working on the boat at night unless there was something
yeah.
really broken with it.
Actually, yeah, you're right. They are loading stuff in boxes onto the boat,
Okay.
like wooden crates, smallish crates. They're one person can carry them, but they're not. But they are loading some stuff on the boats, and they're onto the boat and getting. And it does look like they're getting ready to ship out.
Do they look like they're happy, or like grumbly because they have to work at night?
They do seem to be a little. There seems to be some anticipation, positive anticipation, maybe not quite excitement, but something in that vein. They're not like slouching around and being slow about it, and
they're not standing around smoking cigarettes either, which means there's a better chance that we can slide up underneath the boat like we did before and slip over the outer edge and hide in some nets or something.
Actually, there are a couple standing up front, just because there's, he has 4 or 5 guys with him, and there's not enough to do for everybody. So,
my point is, they're not all just standing there doing nothing, which would make it really easy to see us.
Right. Good point. So that's, as you see that they're loading stuff onto the boat. It looks like they're getting ready to go to ship out.
See, I don't think Naomi and her dad know how fast stuff's happening. I think we need to get on the boat.
Okay, Danny. I'm going to take a quick snapshot of what's going on at the boat, because clearly this is my investigative reporting starting.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Sure, but without any flash.
Right, without any flash, just relying on the
dock lights.
Right. So I have. Why am I not able to? Oh, no, I've thrown a die. Oh, here we go. Choose side. There we go. I've thrown a d12, and we'll track to the table, and we'll track your picture usage.
Sure, and I'm taking notes about what I'm taking pictures of.
Too. Good. Yeah, thank you. That would be helpful. So you got a picture of the boat, and the guys working.
What's the name of McCormick's boat?
I think we figured that out. What was it? Let's see here.
Like the Sally Ann or something. It had a woman.
Right. That was it. Sally Ann. Yep.
That's right. Because why would?
What woman could he possibly have named a boat for? Who would want to be involved with him?
Exactly. Who is this Sally Ann? So yeah, you're seeing them get ready to go somewhere, but you're not quite sure, obviously, where. And one thing you realize, though, that will make it harder to do anything that you're going to do is that it's a full moon.
Oh, be sneaky, or
it's a full moon. Oh, this is bad. But we're under the docks. That's the good news.
Well, no, you haven't gotten there yet. You still have to do.
Well, that's our plan. That's the plan is to not just row up, but to go up onto the docks. So there's a little shadow there.
So I have the unassuming ability. Can I carry that over to Danny if we're like going together? Like to not be noticed, to not be seen within reason.
I'm assuming seen within reason. No, that's not something that can be.
It's more like an individual thing, right?
Yeah. Protective. Okay.
By the way, I have a not a fishing rod, but I have a oh, I know. We'll have put up a couple crab pots in the boat, because you're not supposed to crab within a certain distance of shore.
Mm-hmm.
You're supposed to be a certain distance out, and so if we get caught by them, we'll just claim we're crab potting under the pier.
Mm-hmm. I
Right.
see. Okay.
Right.
So you'll still be saying something that you know that you're not supposed to be doing, but at least that'll be your
Right.
excuse for why they're into it.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Admit to a lesser crime.
Right. Okay.
But that also makes you not confident. It makes you. It's like, hey, we're both. The bad guys are like, hey, the kids are getting away with something. All right, yeah, well, yeah, they're like us. Little criminals, future criminals.
Right. Yeah. Join our gang. Ha ha ha. So at this point, you're still kind of a block or two up the hill from the pier, and if you're wanting to get into the boat or down to the pier, you need to make your sneaky rolls.
I think that's a great plan that Danny has.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go down
Okay.
we'll go down and pick up the rowboat, and with the pretext and the equipment, necessary, like a couple of crab nets,
Mm-hmm.
that we plan to fish under the dock, because there's always good crabbing down there, even though we're not
Right.
supposed to. Um, I
You
don't know
just drop
why
the
we're
pot
not
and you come
I
back
don't know. I mean, I
in a
don't know
couple
why we're not
hours.
supposed to. It's just,
It seems crazy.
it's dumb. I mean, there's lots of crabs down there.
That's it, exactly.
Right. Okay. So let's see.
Is it a brains roll to try to sneak around because you're using shadow and cover and stuff?
Right. So I'm going to have one of you, and you can decide who's going to make which. One of you is going to make a brains roll, and one of you is going to make a bronze roll, because you have to actually, flip the boat over and get it into the water and carry all this other stuff at the same time. And so you're going to work together. One of them is going to come up with the idea, and one of them is going to be mostly the muscle. And for both of them, I'll make a difficulty of 6.
I have a brawn of 12 and a brain of 10.
Okay, I have a
Well,
brain.
D10, D12.
Yeah, you're clearly stronger than I am, Danny. I mean, even for your age, you're stronger than I am, and we're both just as smart, and that's one of the reasons why we're friends. We're smarter than all the other kids.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why we play D&D, because it's
what smart kids do.
Exactly. Right.
That was certainly the case in my school.
Or at least that's what we told ourselves. So
we weren't smart enough to hide the D&D, though.
Exactly. So go ahead and decide which one's which, and make your rolls for a difficulty of 6.
I'll do the brains.
Right.
All right.
So this is the sneaking down to the boat. Ooh, shit.
Ooh. Okay. And what was the brawn? Okay.
Not a problem.
We get in, no problem, but someone notices some kids around the dock.
Well, you also have your
I can't.
Adversity token.
No, I can't.
Yeah, I only have 1.
Adversary, I only have 3. I don't have enough to do.
Well, you can pool them together. If you're working on something together, you can.
I can. So I can give him my 1, and his 3 would make that a success.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know.
If you want it.
I don't think so. Let's
save it.
Let's see what happens. I think it's not the right.
Okay.
So they notice some kids around, but they don't notice us putting the boat in the water.
Yeah, they just they notice you're kind of hanging around. They, figure you're down there to throw rocks or something like that, or just be out causing trouble is normal. But you're right. They kind of quickly ignore you, and then you're able to slip the boat into the water. And but they are aware that
they know we're here.
Right. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. So this is why we have a cover.
Right. Exactly. Okay, so you get the boat in the water, and then what was your plans once you're in the water?
Slide it up towards their boat so we can listen into what's going on, and if we have to, try to sneak aboard.
Right.
Because if they're getting ready to take off right away, we have to.
Okay.
Well, that's how Danny sees it. I'm just saying.
I know. I
But Sloan is the more level-headed, and he will defer to Sloan.
well.
That's why he likes seeing, because he looks up to Sloan. That's why I
Right.
remember, because
It's a little less impulsive, right?
a lot less impulsive.
I think, Danny, if we go out with them on the boat, we're going to be stuck out there in the water with them, and if they
Oh,
find us, we're not going to have anywhere to run
nowhere to hide, really, either, huh?
and nowhere to hide. And I think I think I think your plan is a good one. Let's listen in and see what we can hear. And I've got my tape recorder, and if they start talking about anything interesting, we can record them. We can get them on tape.
Good point.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're able to get into the pier, and you are sitting there for a little bit. You can get in a pretty good position to hear what both the guys at the front on the dock are saying and the guys doing the loading and the work on the ship. And so a lot of it's just kind of like normal, everyday fisher talk.
Mm-hmm.
Being kind of crude, being kind of fisherman-y. But but McCormick is saying, kind of urging them on in their in to be work faster, saying, we need to get out there by midnight. We've got to feed them, we've got to get them taken care of. We need to make sure that we can get them what they need, so they can we get our due when comes time.
Oh, I wonder if those are the sharks he's talking about. Remember, we think he's breeding sharks.
Right. Right. Damn cat.
So they're still loading stuff onto the boat, and let's say you Sloan, you're like kind of you're in charge of the camera and the tape recorder. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Danny, make a brains roll.
And I'm keeping an eye on things while he does the journalistic stuff.
Right. Okay. And difficulty of 8. Brains roll difficulty of 8.
And Aaron, don't forget to add your adversity for that failed roller.
Oh, right. Good
Thanks
point.
for the reminder. I forgot about that.
Thank you.
Come on, 8.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
Failed big.
Okay. You notice that as they're carrying the boxes out, it has a really strong smell, but you're not able to place what it is.
Okay, but it's something strong and something I recognize.
Right.
I
So
just don't know from where.
right. Yeah. So it's
and it's not fish.
Right. So basically, you are you get the idea that what is in the box is some sort of food material, maybe, or something like that, but some sort of material that's got a very strong smell. So it sounds like they're getting ready. It sounds like wherever they're going, it's a ways, because you kind of got gathered up, and it's maybe like 8 o'clock or so now, and they're saying that they have to be there by midnight. So it sounds like wherever they're going is a ways out.
Yeah.
Or something like that. So, or it's a difficult place to get to, because they have to.
Well, you can get to international waters in less than an hour.
Okay. So
they're going out there. They're going out there to deep waters.
Right.
That's even more reason for us not to climb on board the boat.
Maybe. Go ahead. Yeah, there's a perfect hiding spot that you won't be seen.
in these boxes.
Exactly. These giant boxes of shark food. So you're just kind of hanging out there listening.
Yeah, because if nothing else, we need to tell Naomi and those guys what's on Brew. Because my plan is, if we learn anything, is to go tell Brew and Dobbs.
So it sounds like they're getting ready. They're about to, it sounds like they're making noises about casting off, and they're about ready to head out. Is there anything you're wanting to do before they leave?
No.
Yeah, put a tracking device on the boat, but we don't have one.
No, you don't have that. No GPSs, no homing beacons, no flashy lights.
I think
Uh,
I think what we should do is when they take off is that we should go back into Old Man McCormick's uh,
Shack.
shack, and we can take a picture of the weird statue,
Oh, good idea.
and maybe we can find some more stuff in his shack because we know he's going to be gone, right?
Yeah,
He's
it's a
going to
good
be
idea.
he's going to be out on the boat.
Okay. So they're casting off, and they chug out of the away from the pier and head off into the darkness, the somewhat darkness since it's a full moon, out into the shining ocean,
Hmm.
and leaving you guys underneath the pier to continue your nefarious plans.
Work our way back, put the boat and the crab pots back, so
Mhm.
because that's somebody's livelihood. We're respectful that way.
Yep. Okay.
And they're going to work our way back to McCormick's shack. I think Sloane's idea of checking that place out again and getting a picture of the statue is a great idea.
Okay. Good idea. All right. So by this time, being this, it is a Saturday, and so there is some activity in the town since it's the restaurants are open and it's kind of a tourist spot. But the dock area is not a place that the tourists usually go because that's kind of like most docks, coastal docks, kind of like run down and
Unless
It's more
it's
working space
unless it's exactly unless
than a
it's residential
promenade,
or
right?
yeah.
Sometimes, I mean, especially nowadays, folks will walk out on the
right,
pier
yeah,
in the evening and stuff.
right, yeah. But this isn't this town's not that
No, the Pleasant Pier is where
organized.
all the restaurants are. This is the pier
Exactly.
where the workers put their boats.
Yeah, where the real the real pier, not the faux pier.
That's right.
So there's not really anybody out in the area, so you're able to get to McCormick's shack and and get in to the shack. And what are you wanting? So you're wanting to take a picture of what?
Yeah, we're
The
gonna take a
statue?
picture of the statue, like set up on
Mm-hmm.
the desk, like all
Mm-hmm.
carefully posed with some of the
Mm-hmm.
weirdo stuff in the background,
Mm-hmm.
McCormick's things, and I'm gonna use the flash this time.
Okay.
We got it. It's dark in here.
Hmm.
Yeah. Right. So Sloan, make a brains roll of 4, just to make sure that you're able to. Okay, yeah, there's no concern. You're able to kind of position it so the flash isn't seen outside by anybody
Right.
or anything like that. So you're
We're clever kids.
yes, yes. Um, and you're going to kind of search his place again, or just wanted to get that picture, or what?
Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
both.
boy.
Get
Yeah.
that picture and might as well do
Mhm.
another search just in case, because we're not as worried about him walking back.
Right.
Right.
And now
Right.
we know that he's like, there's some weird material that's going out on the boat. Are there any
Mm-hmm.
like receipts or log books or anything like
Mm-hmm.
that?
And see if I can't find a Sloan key to match that Sloan lock we saw on board the boat.
Well, just ask Sloan for the Sloan key.
Well, he's named after a lock company. Schleg. Let's go
Yeah, maybe
Schleg. Sorry,
Schleg.
that's his
Yeah,
name.
I was gonna say
Schleg.
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 So
Okay.
the Schleg key to
Lager.
match that Schleg lock we saw. Sorry.
Right. Right. Okay. So at this point, you're able to pretty much, have your, that he and his whole crew are gone, and so you're able to, do a pretty methodical search, and not have to worry about any kind of pressure or anything like that. So, um, what exactly? So basically, are you searching the whole cabin area, or his whole shack, house, whatever he's got?
Yeah, like inside and
Okay.
outside. I think the outside part would be the last as we're like leaving to
Right.
see if there's
Okay.
anything around
Right.
back kind of thing, or like
Mhm.
exterior storage. I think we're really just trying to know everything about what's been going on in McCormick Shack since.
Right. Okay.
And anything with more of that weird writing.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll do a brains roll again. I'm going to give you 2 target numbers to kind of show a level of success. Or actually, let's. Yeah. So I'll just give you. Okay. So I'm just trying to figure out how to do this. So target of 7 to start off with. So brains roll with target of 7 for both of you. And we'll see how things go.
Oh, got it
That's
right
one.
on.
Okay. All right.
Hold on just a second.
Yep.
I have to add something to my character description.
Uh-oh.
Always wears the same clothes, so I had to write that they're jeans and a Death Dealer T-shirt.
Ooh, that's fucking cool.
Oh yeah, 9-year-old in a Frank Frazetta T-shirt.
You remember those?
Oh.
You remember those iron-on stores, like in
Oh,
the
yeah.
mall, where you could
Yeah, I
go and
remember
buy a
that.
T-shirt and you could pick the iron-on that you wanted off the wall, kind of thing.
Yeah. I do remember.
So that explodes. So roll again.
Oh, it's exploding dice. I forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah, we might find a key to his boat. Come on, 10.
Okay,
That's 18.
I gotta let the cat out. That's driving me bonkers.
18. So I beat it by more than 10.
You did, yes.
That, I mean, was it what term you used? Was critical? Because that's what I did when I bit Marty. I beat him by more than 10, which caused it to become not just a bite, but severe damage.
Right. That they have slightly different things for combat, but yeah, this is
similar concept.
Yeah, really, really good.
Well,
yeah.
So we should wait for Aaron.
Yeah.
Definitely wait for Aaron. It's funny that he mentions the cat because I've been painting cats.
The
last Scylla character I have to paint, it's got this cool all leather cat suit and goggles, and she has these blades that come out of her wrist accoutrement. And she has a bunch of cats. Yeah, she's the wife or the widow, depending on how you look at it, of the undead hobbit who was killed by the Triad. And so she's still mourning him, even though he's come back. She finds it a little freaky. This is all stuff they've written. I'm not making this up. And she's trained cats, and she's got 2 kinds. Every turn you roll, and on successes, 1 or 2 cats appear in base-to-base contact with her and then move. And one kind of cat is a little ninja cat with blades all over it, and the other kind has explosives. So that's what I ordered more of from Micro Arts with this sale, was the ones with explosives, because that's not going to get old.
It's exploding kittens.
It's exactly right. But there's the ninja cats and exploding cats. All the ninja cats I'm painting black. One that makes it easier to. I'm painting black and they have little headbands and stuff, so I'm making those red just because it's a nice balance. But the other ones would just be mixed moggies. But the black cats, they're trained. They're the ones who fight. The other ones just show up and explode.
So I picture the ninja cats covered in you said knives.
Well, yeah, one of them's got a blade on its tail, and and one's got a cybernetic leg.
So I figured all they do is just come up and rub against you for pets, and then that's their attack because they're covered in knives.
Exactly. I think that'll work. There's one that's got knives along its back, so I think that's exactly what it does. Comes in purrs and slices your leg open.
I'm back. Sorry.
Okay, no worries. So
making the roll by more than 10 is a good thing.
Yes, it's a very, very. It's basically the best thing you can do. So, Sloan, you find in the desk, his stack. You're going through his receipts and things like that, kind of his business documents, and you find that there's a lot of receipts for a large amount of pork. for pigs.
That's what it smelled like. Oh, it smells like the uncooked bacon. That's what that smell was.
So that, which obviously seems very strange for.
Why would you don't feed sharks pork? You feed them fish guts. What would you feed pork?
And then Danny was, looking around, searching around, and then he thought Danny, you think you see something? Actually, if you remember, he's got McCormick has got a bunch of taxidermied fish hanging from the ceiling.
There's shit everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah. So you notice that one's a pretty big fish, and you think you see something in its mouth.
Hey, look! I'm gonna reach into its mouth.
So you have to just pull the chair over there.
I'll boost him up there.
Yeah, he's boosting because we're kids.
So you pull out some rolled up paper, and as you unroll it, you see more of that writing that was on the bottom of the statue, and it says at the top, summoning ritual, and then next to the writing is kind of an English, and almost the way it's positioned and everything, you kind of assume that it's like a translation into English.
I bet that's how they can pronounce it.
But what is written in English makes no sense. It's all basically gibberish. It's still by English, I mean, and it's not any, you're in a small town, you don't have a lot of international exposure, but you've seen a little bit of
Portuguese.
I don't know. It could be Russian.
Yeah, there's a lot of apostrophes, and
that's weird.
And
but I bet it's bad.
Yeah,
we should take it.
And actually, looking at it, you both kind of start getting a headache. You notice as soon as you start pulled it out and start unrolling it, your eyes kind of start hurting, and you kind of start getting this weird headache. That most headaches are kind of like on the back of your head or on your eyebrows or something like this.
This is sharp painted right through your eye, like an ice pick right into your brain from your eye.
Sorry, was it like a rolled up piece of paper that was in the fish's mouth? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
And we unrolled it, and then it was all this weird writing.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to copy it down into my sketchbook, but it's
don't do it.
Can you stop me?
Yeah, because I'm getting sick now. I'm feeling nauseated. Like that time we ate that tuna that had gone bad. I'm rolling the thing up. We're taking this. Taking this. Brew will know. Brew needs to have this because I bet this will mess them up. This is hidden. Look, it was hidden. It was hidden inside a nurse shark. Nurse sharks don't eat big stuff. They eat little stuff.
Okay, Danny.
They take care of people.
Okay, Danny. Okay.
All right. This is important.
So
I point at the statue.
Mm-hmm.
This thing says it's summoning. I bet it's for calling him. I bet he's a lot bigger in real life. What do you think? There's no scale on the statue.
Right.
He's not crushing a car under his foot or anything that we can see, though. As players, we know that's exactly what would happen.
Okay, so we've pretty much ransacked the place.
But carefully so it doesn't show.
I was going to say.
We found receipts for deliveries of an awful lot of pork.
And
which we took pictures of that. Take a picture of the receipt.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay.
I saw that. I see that on detective shows, spy shows. They take pictures of documents.
Paperwork.
Yeah.
Do we want to take a picture of this rolled up thing? Then we don't have to take it. We can just. Okay, we're taking.
I don't think that's a good idea. We're taking it, but I don't think we want a picture of it.
Okay.
No, because just the page in your sketchbook upset Naomi. This has got to be worse, and I feel really, really sick.
Yeah, and I have like the startings of a transcription, but Danny made me stop.
Right.
I smell. God, it smells like stale bacon. Do you smell that now? Where's that coming from?
Yeah, so and then I think our next plan before we left McCormick's was to check around back and make sure we
Right.
didn't miss anything like stuff
Yeah,
that
he's
might
got
be
crates and
outside.
stuff back there. It'd be the perfect place to hide something.
Right. Yeah. So in the back,
And
you see
we're
more.
still on the pretext of looking for the seal skin, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
Right.
Absolutely.
Which you still haven't found. Just to be clear.
No, we have a theory, but that's why we also went back because we could have missed it.
Mhm,
Mhm.
mhm, mhm.
Right.
I still think the best place for him to have it's on the boat. I think the sealskin does something to help him talk to somebody bad out there. I think it's like spies, because you know how spies do that? You know, they got in a boat and they mean the boats out in the oceans and they trade information. I think it's something like that. But I don't think it's Russians. I think it's something worse than
Which is a good point because this is still in the middle of the Cold War.
by the complete aside, Amazon Prime has Danger Man and The Prisoner,
Oh wow. I'm.
both in the original British formats. So
Oh nice.
you don't have the really cool Johnny River song.
Is Danger Man what predates Prisoner?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Danger Man was called Secret Agent Man in America.
Right. Fun.
Yeah. It's,
Fun. I have the Prisoner on DVD, but I have no DVD player, so
Oh,
um,
oh,
so yeah, you go around back. There's more of the same crates that you saw them loading onto the boats, but there is not anything, not any anything in them. They're empty, or actually they're some are empty. Some hold fish nets, other hold buoys and that kind of thing. So I'll just crates
boating
of
stuff.
fishing,
right.
boating stuff.
But
Yeah,
nothing
and you don't
relevant to what we're doing.
right, and you don't find anything else back there.
And after I go throw up over the edge of the pier, I don't smell the pork anymore.
Correct.
Oh, because that had gotten into your sinuses
Yeah,
and
just
it's just
something about reading,
overpowering.
something about reading those words, the pain in my eyes. I don't know. I got a and it went right in my eyes, and then I started feeling sick, and then I started smelling pork, and it was weird. It wasn't quite pork. It was like, you know, when bacon goes bad before you cook it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it smelled like kind of like that. It's funny, but Danny doesn't know that pork is very close to human. And I think these guys are training something to eat humans. That's my theory.
Ooh. Ooh.
Well, luckily, Danny doesn't know that.
No, Danny has
Um,
no. Danny doesn't read Cthulhu.
But Nils does.
Ooh, what? So you finished in the back. What are your plans at this point?
We should go home and go to bed, and in the morning go see Brew and Dobbs. What do you think?
Um,
Because it's late, right? It's like, would you say 10 o'clock?
9, 10
Yeah, it's
o'clock.
probably about 10 o'clock. Yeah, and at this
Yeah.
point, well,
If we go home now, we won't get in trouble. You won't get in trouble anyway. Your mom doesn't get home till after.
Okay. Okay. Let's, I guess,
Actually, you know what? I just told my mom I was staying at your house.
right. And you can sleep over if you want, Danny. That's fine.
Right.
We can get up early in the morning. We can go to, out to the hideout.
Oh, and your mom's got tuna, doesn't she? I emptied my house.
Right.
And 1 can of salmon.
Blech.
So,
I hate salmon casserole.
um, so are you going home at this point, or are you going out to the
No,
to
we'll go
wherever?
home. We'll
Okay.
spend the night at my house, and then we're going to
Mhm.
go to the hideout in the morning.
Right. Right. Okay. So you get home, and or Sloan, are you an only child? I can't remember.
Yeah.
Okay, so you basically get home. Your mom's not home yet. It's still about half an hour before she'd be getting home, so you're able to get in without any concern, and you guys set up for the night and go to sleep.
And I help
Um,
Sloan with his chores because Sloan has a lot of chores because his mom works so much.
Right.
right,
Right.
right.
And so, yeah, I help out. So that's
Right.
all done, and so his mom doesn't have any reason to be upset or frustrated.
Mhm. So, second, let me see something here. Oh, here we go. I guess I'll look for that later. So you get up in the morning, you wake up. How early did you want to get up and head out?
Fairly early.
Okay. So, um, you're preteens effectively. You can bounce back from a lack of sleep, unlike me. Um, so you get up pretty much with the sun. You head out, and as you
Can we see the waterfront from any point when we're riding, or can we make a
uh,
loop to see if we can see if
Oh, if the
McCormick's boat
boat's
has returned?
back? Yeah, that's a good idea.
yeah, yeah, you
Just
can.
from a distance, I just want
Yeah,
to know if he's back.
yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
you're able to do that, and you do see that he's back. Um, but and also uh, you also notice as you're riding along a different point, not at the pier, but a different point um, to the along the coast, you see Sheila Olson, and there was this thing. There's rumor saying that she swims out to Seal Rock every morning, and you see her out there, and she's like getting in the water and start swimming out to Seal Rock. So
Whoa! I totally made that up. And it was true. Oh, I hope old man McCormick's sharks don't eat her.
Danny
so
kind of stops and watches her, like getting,
mhm,
they're not Danny, Sloane. Sloane,
mhm.
sort of stops kind of dead in her tracks as he watches her getting into the water and
Mhm.
starts stroking out.
And we all know how Pacific Coast water cold is,
It's
and
fucking freezing.
right, and she's not, she's wearing a swimsuit, but not any kind of
No
wetsuit or
wetsuit or
anything
She's
like that.
not.
anything
She's
like
not
that.
wearing a full suit. Whoa.
No, no, she's just wearing a regular swimsuit, and
That means
um,
she's acclimated.
and it's kind of strange that you notice she seems to be swimming really fast. She's covering a lot, as you watch for the few minutes you watch her, she's covering a lot of, well, not ground, but a lot of
A
ocean
lot of
in
distance.
a lot of distance. Thank you. In the amount of time that you watch her, which seems kind of unusual.
Sloan,
So
she's moving like someone on a kayak. Look how
yeah,
fast
yeah,
she is.
good point. Yeah, it's kind of that
There's
that
plenty of
speed
kayaks
thing.
in the Pacific Coast, yeah, but
Yep.
she's
Yep.
fast. She's fast,
I kind of want to go
dude.
down and talk to her. She's my grade, right? Why would I?
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
actually in your classes because I can't remember if I think you're. Did we decide on we
Eighth
decided
grade,
on the
eighth
school
grade.
range?
Yeah. It's K through 8, and I'm at the top.
Right. So you're right. Yeah. So you're still in single
Actually, I'm
classes all
probably
day kind
too
of thing.
embarrassed to talk to her. Um,
Right, because she's the
yeah,
captain of the swimming team, I think it
oh
was.
yeah.
yeah.
You can clearly
So
see
she's swimming.
why, Danny. I told you she was fast.
She's never been that fast in a swimming pool ever.
Well, I know, but that's the ocean. See, look, she's with the current. That's why. That's the
That makes
rationalization.
sense.
That's the
Right.
justification that I have
Sure,
in my
she's
Right.
mind.
riding the tide. I get it.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
kid logic. Perfect kid logic. I'll go with you.
right.
Oh, so she's really smart in how she times it.
Hmm.
Oh, then I hope she timed it right at the change because then she can get back.
Well,
Where's she going at Seal Rock? She's gonna freeze to death out there. Maybe we should watch for a while.
you want to make sure she gets back okay?
Well,
Okay, so
yeah.
we'll stay up on the from wherever we're looking out and watch her, make sure she gets back to shore okay, so that we don't have to like call the Coast Guard.
Okay. So
Because
it's
it's pretty early on Sunday morning,
yeah.
and this has always been rumored, but we've never seen her do it before, though we've not had
Right.
any cause to go follow her down to the water or anything like that.
Right.
No. Why would we? By the way, I made more peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Oh, good.
At my house.
Yeah, yeah.
Because we have the
And
good bread.
oh yeah,
Right,
it's got a brand name on it.
right.
This is the era when you could buy things that just said bread.
Bread.
That's what my mom buys.
I remember actually buying the generic where it was the yellow boxes with the black writing that said
Right.
Yeah,
something on
I
said
remember.
bread
it. Mm-hmm.
or white bread, wheat bread.
Mm-hmm.
And I've
Yeah.
got a couple more cans of tuna from his house too.
Were those
Sloan has the
generic
Wonder Bread.
labels? Were those government labels, or
No,
why? I
Mm-mm.
mean,
it was
it was just
it
some
was
distributor somewhere that just decided they would.
Well, you know how Safeway now has a select brand, and that is Safeway's brand.
Uh,
The generic was just the store's brand.
oh, so it might be yellow with black label for one
Yeah, I think they all went with white and
for
black. It was
one
like a marketing
grocery, or it
thing with
might be
a
white and
lot,
black for another grocery kind of thing.
if I
yeah.
recall
I think it was
correctly.
they were cheaper because they weren't branded, but I'm
Right.
not sure how they came up with that.
Hmm.
Are you going to kind of stay up on the road where you are, or are you going to go down to the beach?
We have a pretty good vantage point from where we are right
Mm-hmm.
now
Yeah,
to
we
keep an
do.
eye on her. So that's what we're gonna do. And if we have
We
to
can
go
also
and get
see,
the
we can also see McCormick's boat from here.
Yeah,
and if we
and
have
you
to
can actually.
go if we have to go get the harbor master or the Coast Guard because she's getting swept out to sea,
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
at least
We can.
we wouldn't be down on shore. We'd be closer to be
Right.
able to do that. I'm really worried about her.
And
Oh,
yeah,
that's very sweet of you.
you know, in the way only an 8th grade boy who started to notice the difference between boys and girls can be.
Boys who will be girls.
There's such a
Uh,
shift, such a shift in
Yeah,
boys. As soon as they start to want female attention, there's a huge shift
yeah,
in what they do.
yeah. And
The smart ones, the
You
smart
watch that
ones,
happen every year.
every fucking hour of every fucking day,
Lights
all
go
day.
on,
36 an hour.
synapses start firing.
Yeah, chaotically.
so you're also able to see the Seal Rock where she's swimming to, and so it takes I don't know with her with her quote riding the tides. She's able to get out there in about 15 minutes, and she gets
Wow.
up to the rock, kind of stands up on it, and is looking around.
I take her
Um,
picture from really far away,
right.
like I'm absolutely going to capture this moment, but
Yeah,
Mhm.
she's a little dot. No one will fucking believe us. No one.
Right.
Sheila, is that her name? Sheila?
Yeah, Sheila Olson, the mayor's daughter.
Oh, is she naked?
No, she's in a
No.
Oh, she has
bathing
a
suit.
bathing suit. I said that
Yeah.
already.
It's a Spielberg movie.
But the silhouette's naked.
That's it. That was one of the
It looks
reasons
like
you
it.
were intrigued when she walked down there because she stripped out of her jeans and her
Right,
sweatshirt.
right.
And yeah, I remember going to the beach with a whole group of uh, families, and one of them had a girl who I'd always had a crush on anyway, and her family was close friends with my buddy's family. So,
Mhm.
and she took off her t-shirt and jeans, wearing her one-piece bathing suit underneath, and oh my God, I was ready to marry
You
her
almost
right then.
exploded right
I
there.
did. My head all just brain matter everywhere. It was just
Just as long as it was brain matter.
oh yeah, it was just that the
It's the
concept
same
of
thing
this pretty girl removing some of her clothes, just
in your
my world
presence. Yeah,
shifted forever.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, this actually happens. Sorry,
So,
sorry.
so she's actually kind of like looking around all around the rock, not just like out to sea, but um, and the rock is big enough that she's able to climb up on one side, and there's seals on the other side that
Hmm.
they're sunning themselves,
It's that
and
time of year.
they don't move. So she doesn't move over to them, but she's obviously looking for something because she's spends some time out there looking around, and finally she kind of sits down and just sits for a while.
She's probably waiting for the tide to change so she can ride the current back.
Well, isn't that every 12 hours or every 6 hours?
We don't know. We have no idea. But we might know. But at the same
that's
time,
something I would think that you guys would know because you do the same thing when you.
but we would at least know that there's a time when it changes. And so, as a kid,
Yeah,
I think she probably wrote it out one way before it changed, and then she's waiting for it to change back.
Well, tides and currents are different, right?
Oh, good
Currents
point.
are pretty constant, and
Right.
they could be stronger or weaker depending on like a variety of conditions.
Right.
Sure.
Tide's more
And if we're in an estuary, there'd be a steady current going out regardless of the tide.
Right, and there could be like almost like a riptide, which is what will pull
Sure.
things out to sea.
Mhm.
Pull things out and under.
Yeah, and then there can be but that riptide tends to be fairly narrow, right? So she could have swum out with the riptide and then swim back with, the regular,
Right.
with the propulsion of the waves. See, this is Sloane's whole rationalization that he's explaining to Danny as they're kind of just sitting there watching her out on the rock. And I kind of imagine it as being all like kind of overcast and gray and just awful.
Right.
As it is PNW.
Not raining, but
Yeah,
just
but might as well be raining.
Exactly. That's Oregon.
Yeah. So it's been more than half an hour. She took about 15 minutes to get out there.
Freezing out there. Jesus.
Man, I can't believe it.
She sat out there for, looked around, sat for a while, and she's still sitting. Are you willing to continue to wait, or you want to move on? Okay. So she go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, yeah, I want to keep waiting.
Wait a little longer at least.
So after she's been out there
Danny,
for
we got to make sure she gets back okay. Nobody just swims out to Seal Rock.
No. Maybe she's too tired.
When after about 20 minutes to a half an hour of her being out there, she kind of gets up and looks around one more time, and then starts swimming back. And she again is making very good speed, very good, covering a lot of distance. And from what you can tell, she's not swimming in any different area than she was before.
Wow.
With your theory of the riptide versus normal waves or current or whatever. So
she's amazing. We want to talk to her? Do you want to intercept her? Because we know where she left her clothes.
I don't know, Danny. You're like, go on, talk to her. You should go talk to her. I can't talk to her.
I'll talk to her. I'm 9 years old.
Yeah, you're
She's
like
just another
blah,
person.
Blah, 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 blah.
I don't even know what boobs are yet. I teach 7th and 8th grade art in the 6th grade hallway. I am the only non-6th grade classroom in that hallway. Talk about, I see the total range that 3 years brings you.
Yep.
Oh, holy fucking shit. It's just such a huge shift in their lives and who they are.
So are you wanting to go down and talk to her, or you want to move on to
Sloane doesn't know what to do.
Tell you what, you stay out of sight. I'll go talk to her. Because I'm always running around town and doing stuff and not being home. That's a big deal, not being home.
Okay, sure. You do that. And
ooh, did I find any change in the couch and seat cushions at Sloane's house?
They really need a luck stat here.
You just give me a percentage.
Make a brains roll of 6.
Brains roll.
Remember what you found in my couch last time you looked, Danny?
Yes. So you found about $1 worth of change.
Cool. I can buy some fish with that. So I have a reason to be down here. I'm just riding down the pier to buy some fish.
Mm-hmm. Well, she's not at the pier.
She's no. She's in the cove. I know. Right. Down on the beach.
Yeah. Oh, well, I have a reason to be out in a.
Oh, sure. Right.
Oh, yeah. I see what you're saying. Right. Okay. I thought you meant.
Like, oh, and I had that ball of fishing line and hook anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So I always have an excuse to be someplace doing something I shouldn't be doing.
Right. So you're going down to the beach to.
Yeah, to basically intercept her, so it'll look like I was just, like at the rocks. I didn't see you at the beach. Oh, I was just right there in those rocks. I was, looking for clams. So I got a bucket, grab something on the way down or whatever.
Okay. All right. So you get down there just a bit before she comes up out of the ocean. And so where are you?
And Sloane's standing up on the bluff, kind of forlornly wearing his all black clothes with his black pea coat and stuff, just kind of watching this whole thing happening, wishing he could be down there, but no way he could.
Memorizing, because later he's going to draw this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Burning the impression of her wading out of the surf into his mind, into his.
Like Botticelli's Venus on a half.
But better.
But better.
So Danny, where are you wanting kind of position yourself as she comes out? You want to be like right there, or you want to be a little ways away, or
no, just basically where there's some, where the beach kind of stops and you start to get into the rock and bluff, and so I might have blended in just sitting there, and she missed me. So as she starts to get dressed, I'm like, "Hey," and she's like, "Oh my God, I didn't see you." It's like, "Oh, sorry, I was, looking for whatever he'd be looking for on the beach." And man, you swim fast. No wonder you're captain of the fishing. That's the plan.
Got it. Okay. So she comes out and starts getting. She had a towel with her, so she kind of dries herself off and starts getting dressed.
And I greet her as she's toweling off. So she's got her hair. As she's toweling her hair off and she can't see around her and things would be muffled. That's how they do it in the movies. So take her completely unaware. What was her name? Sheila.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, Sheila, you sure swim fast. Under your captain of the team.
She all of a sudden looks quite startled and looks around and sees you, and then looks more panicked than she first of all, you kind of startled her, but then she looks panicked, like you caught her doing something.
I'm just looking gormless.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I won't tell anybody you train in the ocean. I just really respect the fact you can put up with the cold. I'm not going to say nothing. If you don't tell anybody I was down here clamming where I shouldn't be clamming, I won't tell anybody that you train in the ocean. But it makes sense. It sure explains why you're such a good swimmer.
Is you? So she says, "Oh, okay. You're
Danny Fuller.
Danny, right? Okay, right. Yeah. You're. What grade are you in?
I'm in 6th grade.
Oh, right. Okay, right.
But I'm a big 6th grader.
Yeah. She said, "Yeah, sure. Yeah. I won't tell. Okay. Danny, make a brains roll, difficulty of 9.
Yeah, talking to girls, and I'm gormless. I don't have to fake gormless. I am gormless.
What's that? Gormless.
Clueless, sort of an innocent. Will Ferrell's character in Elf is gormless. True innocence. He's not faking any of that. He's not pretending to love elf culture. He is truly that innocent being.
Gotcha.
When it comes to girls,
holy shit! Exploded.
All right, roll again.
Fuck. Brains, right?
Yeah. So roll again. You got your.
But I closed my character sheet.
So 12. Okay.
12.
So you actually, something doesn't look quite right with her. You notice that she actually, most of her toes seem to be webbed, or at least formed together into something weird like that.
What an interesting birth defect.
Yeah. So that's something you notice. But
I pretend I don't.
So she quickly gets dressed and runs off up the hill.
Past Sloane, who's like standing up there wanting to say something, but he can't.
Quick
Right.
question.
Mm-hmm.
You said her feet are webbed. Is it more webbed like a fish duck kind of webbed, or webbed like an otter seal web? More is it more mammalian? Is it more fish, or is it more bird in its web?
It was just so quick, and her feet were
Gotcha.
kind of in the sand that you couldn't tell, and you haven't had biology yet, so you're not sure.
Okay. Good point. If I was a high school student, I might get the chance to roll that, but
Yeah.
okay.
Right.
Still, that was. Tell her to have a good day, and then I climb back up to Sloan, and I tell him what I saw.
Well, I saw what you saw, Danny. I'm like kind of pissed off that he got to go down there and talk to her, and I didn't.
It wasn't that you did that he got to. You just chose not to.
Yep, Danny doesn't get this at all.
Yeah, I
I'm
just
just
couldn't.
totally confused with what's going
What?
on right now. What the fuck?
You asked me to go down there. I don't even know. You said it was okay.
It's not my fault she has webbed toes.
Well, you lied, Danny. Oh, let's just go to the shack.
No, the fort.
The fort, yeah.
Right.
I think it was a fort. It's a shack.
It's a shack. There's all kinds of shacks in Sloane's world.
Yeah.
Right.
So we head out.
Yeah, you head out, and you're able to get out to the shack, and again, you look. The secret thing isn't in the secret place, which implies that Brew and Dob are still there. And you approach the shack, and they come out and greet you. And
We're here to show him the scroll, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And tell them what we heard,
mm-hmm.
and what they're feeding something.
Mm-hmm.
And we want to talk to Brew and Dobbs because they're not like the rest of the grown-ups. They understand that we can help and we will help.
Mm-hmm. Right. And you kind of like proving your worth by getting this information for them.
And we know we can trust them to not mess with the damn grown-ups. They don't get it.
Right.
It's like grown-ups forgot they were kids.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So as you tell her about your eavesdropping, and she Brew says, "I knew it that McCormick we thought he was doing something, but he was we weren't able to get far enough out to see what he was doing. That really that's really good information."
Yeah. Well, wait till I tell you this, and I put the scroll down on the ground.
And
spread it out.
No, I don't open it yet.
Mm.
Okay.
It says, I said, listen, because I remember Dobbs and what he did. There's something I don't understand going on, but they do. And I know something gave me a massive headache. So I'm warning them because I have a feeling anything that can do what Dobbs did to shield us from eyes and ears might be more sensitive to what that scroll says. So I just said, no. When I looked at it, and it's got some English translation, and the top translation says something about summoning, and it hurt my eyes so bad I got a headache, and I had to go out and throw up, and it was bad. It was bad. So I don't think we want to read this, but we thought it was important to take, and I'm sorry we stole it, but I think this is bad.
Oh, Dobbs. She quickly chitters to Dobbs, and Dobbs kind of like looks quite scared and kind of like hides behind her. And Brew says, "Thank you. This is going to be. This is very important, and it is integral to what McCormick is trying to do." And so, him not having it.
Danny's talking to Brew and to Dobbs, I'm going to use 2 of my adversary tokens to trigger my unassuming ability to take a picture of Danny talking with Dobbs and Brew.
Okay. All right. So you're now down to 7 pictures.
excellent idea and well played.
Yeah, and an excellent use of your skill. There was one other picture that I noticed that you forgot to record.
I
Oh no,
took,
you're doing it right now. Okay, never mind. Yeah, that as the pork receipt, but you did write that down. Okay.
yeah, I've
Okay.
got the boat,
Mm-hmm.
the statue, the
Yep.
pork photo receipt, Sheila, and Danny with Dobbs and Brew.
Okay. So Brew is saying, yes, thank you so much. This is very important for him. And so him not having it is going to make a big, certainly delay his plans.
Oh, that's even better. I thought if nothing else, you might be able to trade it for your seal skin. But this is even better, huh?
Yes. I think we can get my skin back, but without too much difficulty. But this will certainly delay what he's trying to do.
Now I have to have we have to have a flashback to my memory to see if I remember. We would have had the conversation on the way about about what we saw with the Owens girl swimming out and my interaction with her, and we would have discussed, do we share that with Brew and Dobbs? And my attitude is we tell them everything because they need to know what's going on so they can make plans.
Yeah, and so that they know how important we are and how that we need to be a part of those.
Right, exactly. And in your eyes, I loved how you pointed out, it's the seat at the adult table.
Right.
Right. Okay. So, so you tell her about Sheila.
Sheila with her otter feet.
With her webbed feet of some sort.
Right, but I'm a 9-year-old boy who's assuming she's mammalian.
Right. Okay. So okay. So, Brew says, kind of, you can't really read her in this instance. You can't really. She just says, interesting, and moves on from there.
Because my attitude as a player and as a kid here is anyone who's swimming out there and looking among sea foe of Brew and Dobbs. There's no way it's not connected.
She's got to be part of, or at least descended from.
Right. She knows something. She's out there looking among seals. She must, because I'm a single 9-year-old.
We lost you a little bit, but I think I caught the most of that.
It's a single-minded 9-year-old kid.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
Aaron, I don't know if you noticed, but I think you've got a message in the in-game chat from Hobbs.
Oh, I hadn't.
No. So, so you share all this information, and say, she says, "Thank you so much. Your help has been invaluable, but I still urge you to let us handle it, because it will probably get very dangerous, and you're such good boys that we don't want to have anything happen to you. There's don't worry. The adults that know that understand the situation know what's going on, and are quite capable of helping."
Sloan just fucking explodes. God damn it.
Uh-oh.
And just
what
kind of storms off
say?
just because, like,
he's feeling dismissed.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
okay.
You're not an adult. You don't matter. Right. We know more about what's going on than they know about. And they're keeping us in the dark with what little they know.
And we'll figure this. Know.
We'll figure this whole thing out. And I don't even care if you get your stupid skin back.
Right. So Danny's going to take a deep breath. This is all part of learning to control my impulses.
Mhm.
Look,
What your counselor says.
yeah,
Yeah.
What the school
exactly.
counselor
School
says.
counselor regularly says. So I don't go chasing after you, and I just know you need to blow some steam, and you'll be back when you calm down. But I know exactly what you're mad about because I'm mad about it too. And I'm like, look, my counselor explains that sometimes grown-ups forget what it's like to be a kid, and we're kids. And while grown-ups spend a lot of time wishing they were kids because they remember all the good times, you guys forget, he says, how much we want to be grown-ups. And we live here. And the way Naomi explains it is everything under the sun and everything in the land and the sea, everything in the sea all tied together. Everything mixes together. We're all part of it. She calls it the Great Spirit. My mom calls it God. I figure it's all the same thing, but we're all part of it. And this is my community and I live here. And and I want to protect it. And I think something really, really bad is coming. And if I can do anything to stop it, I'm going to, whether I have your permission or not, because I can't help it. That's what I'm going to do. And I just got to warn you, it's not out of disrespect. It's just, I know you think we're just kids, but we live here too. And we want to keep living here. So I'm going to go see Sloan, but understand if you can't figure out some way that you can ask us to help, we're just going to keep doing what we're doing. And I go out and I go
Yeah,
find Sloan.
and Sloane's pedaling back home furiously, kind of
And I get
tears
on,
streaming down his face, but not really. It's kind of more like
right.
the wind in his eyes
Of
than the
Yeah,
course, yeah.
tears.
sure. And I
Right.
get on my bike and I'm right behind him.
Um, so so as you said that all, Danny, um, you kind of you did kind of see a look or an attitude change in Brew, where she kind of recognizes what you're saying, and and
We are all
you know,
children of the great spirit.
yeah, and kind of regards you in a new light. So, um, so you guys are heading home, or actually, where are you heading? At this point, you're just riding with the winds in your face. Are you? What are your plans at this point?
Well, Sloane's house is a safe house right now
Mhm.
because his mom's working. It's
Right,
Sunday. She's down cleaning the rooms in the motel.
right.
Hmm.
Okay, okay.
And
So,
she won't be back until at least 3.
Right.
right,
This is her early day. She gets home by 3.
right. It's a Sunday, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, as you're driving, riding, you ride out of the forest. You're going back through town. You can hear as you pass. The main road that you ride is like 2 or 3 blocks off the pier, and as you pass by, you can hear McCormick down at the pier shouting, stomping around, shouting at his crew. Where is it? What happened? Someone's been in my hut. And at this point, it's still pretty early because you got up, with the sun. Um, you
And
went,
we go
went,
rolling by on his bikes as he looks up at the road from
yeah,
the dock and
yep,
sees us or something. Is that what's happening?
No,
yeah.
we
So it's still pretty early for kids to be out on the bikes, and they see you, and they start shouting at you, "Hey, kids, come here! We need to talk to you."
Let's just pedal faster.
yeah, no shit. That is never a good thing when grown-ups say that. That is never a good thing.
So a couple of
Besides,
he
I'm a
he
biter. I'm a biter. I don't want to.
yeah, Wolf Boy, um, Danny Wolf Boy. So he yells at his cronies, his crew, say, "Go get him!" And so a couple of them start running after you, which they've got like a block or two to go uphill, and you're on bike, so you're going to outdistance them pretty easily. But
Hmm.
a couple of them, uh, McCormick and one or two other, jump in their cars and start coming after you. So at this point, you know the ins and outs of the town pretty well. Um, what are you planning on doing?
Yeah,
You've got a couple
we're
of guys running after you that won't be able to catch up to you, but there's at least 2 cars coming.
like a big blue pickup truck that's got fired
Well,
up, an old Ford.
I think before we go, if we can get out of sight for as much as or long as we can, we need to ditch our backpacks, hide them somewhere, because we don't want to have any evidence in your sketchbook, a camera. We don't want anything on us
If they
that makes
catch
them go
us,
right, because they're in
Okay, so
cars.
actually, I just want to clarify. What did you end up doing with the scroll?
We left that.
Okay, I just want to make sure. So yeah, she would have asked to keep it. I just want to make sure that was the case.
No, that's
Okay.
a bad thing. That's like when you're a kid and you find a gun. You don't even touch it. You just tell an adult, "There's a gun over there."
Yeah, yeah.
so if this
Um,
is the road going by
mhm,
the docks, and they're
mhm,
out here working, and we're pedaling our
right.
bikes this way, there's some
Mhm,
guys that are trying to run up the hill, but then there's a pickup truck that got fired up and that's coming
mhm,
around to come up the
right.
hill. So
Mhm.
I feel like we could just keep going, Danny, and get away on our bikes into the back alleys and the
Oh yeah,
shortcuts
and
that
then
we know. We don't have to ditch our stuff, do we? We can make it back to my
I think you're
house.
right. I think you're right.
And
And then we'll hide it
what are they going
because
to do? They can't do anything to us. Grown-ups can't hurt kids. We'll
well,
tell
and
the
they're
sheriff.
that's right, because they're not the police. If that
They're
was the
not the
sheriff, we'd
police,
have
yeah.
to worry because they can search your stuff.
They're just a bunch of jerks.
That's right. Which means they can't mess with us because we're allowed to. I'm allowed to bite people like that.
They'll go to jail if they lay one hand on us.
That's right. And I fight back. That's one thing Dad always said.
It's all very naively, right, from a kid's
Exactly.
Yeah,
perspective.
of
Yeah, yeah,
course.
yeah.
Right.
This is all 9 and 13-year-old logic here.
So so actually there's actually two cars, one beat up uh, Nova and one pickup truck,
Okay.
pretty faded and rusted truck that McCormick's in, and so so you're able to start pedaling faster, and so basically you're going to try to go
We're
to your house but take back roads, or
we're
what
gonna
exactly
lose
is your
them
plan?
like in the shortcuts through
The
town
shortcuts, the
and the back
pedestrian
alleys.
Right.
access.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, the
Okay.
things where they can't drive and they can't easily turn around to intercept us.
Right. So like basically kind of like going through people's yards and that kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Which would
what
make
we'll
a
do.
great Spielberg scene.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what we'll do is let me see here. Okay. Actually, let me quickly look here. So 1, 2, 3. So that would be 20, 12, 10, 8. Okay. So what we'll do is you'll each roll your flight, and the two cars will roll their. Um, actually, I was looking the wrong way. Just a second. Sorry. Um, their brains, because they have to try to figure out a way to catch up to you.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
and being that they're big lunk fishermen, they're going to have both McCormick and the other car. We're going to have brains of 56. So
This is when it's good that grown-ups underestimate us.
exactly. Oh, and what we're doing is it's an imposed roll. So if you're able to,
I hope I have a good fight.
okay. So, okay. So,
that's going to explode.
oh yeah. Thank you for reminding me.
Sorry, I got to be honest.
That's appreciated. Okay. So go ahead.
Can I get an adversity token for being honest?
No.
Damn, I thought it was like a boons and banes,
No, not this time.
Okay, because my flight is a D6 plus 1, so I need to roll.
Okay.
Let's see if it does the plus 1 in there.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So this is going to be over, a couple of rounds.
Sure.
So you're able to lose one of the cars because you both beat the 2, but the other car that rolled a 9 is actually stayed on you and caught up to you.
Is that the pickup truck?
No, it's the Nova.
Okay.
It's the one that's not McCormick. The pickup truck was, kind of it's beat up enough that it kind of like sputtered out and
It sort of
stalled.
struggles up the hill.
Yeah,
Doesn't
yeah,
even really make it up out of the
yeah.
doesn't make it well up out of the dock area.
Right. So you're able at this point. You're able to stay off the road by riding through people's lawns and things like that. But he's right with you on the street. So we're going to do another roll and basically the same process.
Did we
Except
get
there's
an
only going to be
adversary
yes,
token for
yes.
failing that one?
Oh yeah,
But we
because we
passed the
failed
other
against.
one, so does it kind of wash
Or
out?
Yeah,
opposed.
it kind of balances out. You lost one, but you beat one, but didn't beat the other. So
So no adversity token.
yeah.
All right, I got 2 right now. So
Oh damn! Oh shit!
fuck. This guy's mean. An 8.
It's a Nova.
Well,
You
that's
can go
why
see it.
it's American. It's like it's not really American muscle. It's more like American flab.
Right, exactly. So let's see what you guys can do. He's got an 8.
Come on, 6.
No.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I rolled a 6, so it's not a natural 6, so it doesn't.
No, it's not. Yeah, it doesn't explode.
Okay, so we get an adversity token, but I can
Yes.
make it. I can make mine an 8. Do you have enough to make yours an 8? That means
I
we'd
don't.
only tie him, wouldn't we?
No, I don't.
Okay, well let's see what happens. I'll take the adversity token.
And as we go into this,
I yell over. I think this is what they've been talking about.
what?
Big dangerous people chasing us in cars.
Right. So, as we go into the next stage of this, Danny, remember you have the both tough and protective skills, which might be of use in this encounter.
Yes, I need to double check what those do.
So you're riding through people's lawns, and you're coming to like an intersection, and the guy is able to speed up and swerve around the corner and stop right in front of you as your bikes are kind of almost going to tee into him.
Right, so it stops us in our tracks.
Yes, and then he jumps out.
When he jumps out, we're in like a residential neighborhood, like that's houses and stuff. I'm gonna scream at the top of my lungs, "Leave us alone!"
Okay, and he comes after you.
I'm trying to like wake up the neighborhood.
Right. Yeah, that's gonna take a bit. A bit of take a few minutes for it to have an effect, if any.
There could be a jogger out. Who knows? But
that's true. True. Yeah. So roll your Danny. Roll your. I'm sorry, Sloan.
I keep calling myself Danny too. I think that's kind of funny,
but roll your.
I want to intercept him with my bike to trip him.
That's okay.
So first of all, Danny, Sloan, the other Danny,
Danny
roll
too.
your charm.
My charm.
Yeah, your charm. Difficulty of 6.
Maybe there's a housewife picking up her newspaper.
So there's no immediate response from your shouting. So now the real Danny, you will.
Oh, if you tangle him up in your bike, you could jump on and I'll give you a pump.
Yeah, well, it says protective. You get a +3 bonus when defending one of your friends. So I assume this is defending you because I'm trying to trip this guy as he's coming after you.
Okay.
So I figure whatever roll I have to make, I'm going to get a +3 on.
Right. So he's going to have a. He's going to. You roll your fight, and he's going to roll his flight.
Okay.
And he gets a 7.
Oh.
What is this? Like Shadows of the Demon Lord?
But it's not going to explode, at least.
Well, no, but
it can't be a roll that high. It's about.
Okay.
An
I
18
guess
plus
you
3.
I guess you kneecapped him with the bike lock.
Yeah.
No, I just rode my bike 'cause I'm on my bike, so I can't pull that bike lock out. It's in my backpack, is what I have it
I
listed.
think that's
But
yeah.
as he's
That's
coming, I hit him from the side with, the wheel went right past and I hit him in the knee with
Oh,
the,
like you did a bunny hop?
upright.
You did a bunny
Yes, and
hop
just
into the back of his foot and tripped him? Is that what happened?
well. You tell me.
I
You've
rolled
rolled
no,
well
I'm
enough. You
just
how
you
I'm
much did I
control the
beat him
narrative.
by?
I'm spitballing here with Danny. I don't know.
You beat him by 14.
So what does that mean, beat by 14?
That basically means that the person controls the narrative, and it's severe enough that it's like permanent or severe damage.
Okay,
So
so
something.
as he comes ripping around his car door towards Sloan, who's kind of like in shock. I'm the angry kid whose dad beats the shit out of him all the time.
And
So
you
nobody's
know
hurting
what's
my friend.
happening, yeah.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
I take that momentum that I don't stop my bike. I was
Mhm.
slowing, but I hadn't stopped completely, and I go right in
Mhm.
the side of him, and it clips his knee, and he's projected into the car, and his head goes right into the windshield, knocking him cold, just
Mhm.
out. Go, go, go! And I just start pedaling. Let's go, let's go!
So yeah, you're able to, with that kind of roll, you're able to stay on your bike, keep control of it, and actually, you're in addition to knocking him out, you can tell by the angle of his leg, you've basically broken his leg, or dislocated his knee or something, because his legs don't bend like that. And at this point, people are starting to, doors are opening and people are starting to come up because there's obviously been a lot of shouting and yelling
Oh, now
and
they show up.
yeah,
Still,
right.
it's just been a matter of, it's been like 2 minutes
Seconds.
outside. Yeah, it's
Not even
nothing,
that. Yeah,
nothing. Yeah,
yeah,
and
less than
we were riding away fast.
right. And that seems like a good point to in the episode today.
I think it's a good
So
story.
you're,
Yeah,
Nice,
fun.
nice point to end the issue.
I figured with a game called Kids on Bikes, you have to have a bike chase. So I'm
You
glad
do.
to, and I'll say that that's my boon, my pluses is that I was able to get a bike chase in. And also, well, I'll leave it at that. You guys go ahead and what do you think?
Um, I loved finding the camera and the cassette player. I thought those two
Yeah.
things were
Great ideas.
super spot on for the era. And
Mm-hmm.
I also loved the scene down at the beach with Sheila
Mm-hmm.
and
Oh
Danny
yeah,
just talking to her and Sloan
the
being like,
lack of a scene for you at least.
yeah, no, I mean, was there was that was
Mm-hmm.
that
No,
was
that
cool.
actually, the fact that he wasn't involved and then he was mad afterwards is my
Mm-hmm.
boon, because
Hmm.
that was just spot on. That's
Hmm.
how kids act. That would have happened
Mm-hmm.
in the movie. It was
Mm-hmm.
perfect. Yeah. Great. Great episode. Really enjoyed it.
Great.
Yeah, fun times. Let me kill the recording.